What if eternity is not a promise, but a trap? What if the circle we call time is not a path to freedom, but a chain forged in the heart of the cosmos? The Ouroboros, the serpent eating its own tail, whispers a truth so forbidden it has been carved into the shadows of every civilization, etched into the dreams of mystics and buried in the tombs of gods. Today we unravel its enigma, a symbol older than words, deeper than memory, a mirror of the soul's eternal dance with destruction and rebirth. Join me, Seeker, as we step into the spiral, where beginnings and endings dissolve into one. The serpent's first whisper. Imagine a desert at twilight, where the sands glow gold under a sky bruised purple. Here in the cradle of Sumer, the first storytellers gazed upward and saw the stars not as distant fires, but as the scales of a great serpent encircling the heavens. The Ouroboros was no mere image, it was a revelation. In Sumerian myth, Tiamat, the primordial dragon of chaos, coiled around the abyss, her body the raw matter of creation. From her sacrifice came the world, but her essence lingered, a cycle of destruction and renewal encoded in the stars. Cross the sands to Egypt, where the serpent Mehen guarded Ra, the sun god, as he journeyed through the underworld each night. Mehen, coiled around the solar bark, was the Ouroboros in divine form, a protector, yet a devourer, ensuring the sun's rebirth at dawn. But why a serpent? Why this creature, reviled and revered, slithering through the myths of every culture? The answer lies in its skin. The serpent sheds, casting off death to emerge anew, a living symbol of alchemy's first stage, Nigredo, the blackening, the descent into the dark where all things dissolve to be reborn. The Ouroboros is no mere reptile. It is the archetype of eternity, a paradox that bites its own tail to remind us, to create, you must destroy. To live, you must consume yourself. In its coils, we see the shadow of our own existence, a cycle we cannot escape, yet one we barely understand. The alchemical spiral. Let us journey deeper, into the heart of alchemy, where the Ouroboros reigns as the ultimate sigil. Picture a dimly lit chamber, walls stained with soot, where an alchemist toils over a crucible. The air is thick with the scent of sulfur and secrets. The alchemist knows the great work is not just to transmute lead into gold, but to transform the self. The Ouroboros is their guide, a map of the soul's journey through the 4 stages of alchemy. First, Nigredo, the blackening. This is the death of the ego, the dissolution of all you thought you were. The serpent's jaws close around its tail, consuming what was to make space for what will be. In Hindu myth, this is Kali, the dark goddess who dances on the ashes of time. Her necklace of skulls, a reminder that all things return to the void. In Gnostic teachings, it is Sophia, the wisdom that falls into matter, lost in the labyrinth of the demiurge's creation, seeking her own redemption. Next comes albedo, the whitening, the purification. Here, the serpent's scales gleam like moonlight, reflecting the soul's cleansing. In Norse myth, the Midgard serpent, Jormungandr, encircles the world, its venom purifying the seas through cycles of destruction. The alchemist washes away the dross, distilling the essence of being. This is the moment of clarity, where the self begins to see its own divine spark. Then, Citrinitas, the yellowing, the dawn of illumination. The Ouroboros glows golden now, its form no longer a cage, but a chrysalis. In Egyptian lore, this is the scarab beetle, Khepri, rolling the sun across the sky, a symbol of eternal renewal. The alchemist glimpses the philosopher's stone, not a physical object, but a state of consciousness where opposites unite, light and shadow, life and death. self, and other. Finally, rubedo, the reddening, the completion. The serpent's circle is now a radiant whole, its tail and head indistinguishable. This is the divine marriage, the conjunctio of Hermetic philosophy, where the soul merges with the cosmos. In the Upanishads, this is Brahman, the ultimate reality, where the individual soul, Atman, realizes it was never separate. The Ouroboros, in its endless consumption, reveals the truth. Eternity is not outside you, it is you. The forbidden truth. But why is the Ouroboros forbidden? Why does its image stir unease, even dread, in the hearts of those who gaze too long? Because it unveils a truth we are not ready to face. We are both creator and destroyer, prisoner and liberator, bound to a cycle we cannot control yet cannot escape. The serpent's gaze is a mirror, and in it we see our own impermanence. In Gnostic texts, the Ouroboros is the Archon Yaldabaoth, the false god who traps souls in the material world, a cycle of birth and death that mimics eternity, but is a shadow of the true divine. The Gnostics whispered that to break the cycle, one must awaken to gnosis, knowledge of the self as divine. Yet this knowledge is dangerous, for it demands you face the serpent within, the desires that consume you, the fears that bind you, the illusions you call reality. In ancient China, the dragon Ouroboros was the cosmic force of yin and yang, the eternal dance of opposites. The I Ching speaks of change as the only constant, a cycle of creation and destruction that mirrors the serpent's form. To embrace the Ouroboros is to embrace paradox. You are whole, yet you are broken. You are eternal, yet you are fleeting. Even in modern times, the Ouroboros haunts our collective psyche. Carl Jung saw it as the archetype of the self, the totality of the psyche that integrates conscious and unconscious. To encounter the Ouroboros is to confront the shadow, the parts of yourself you deny, yet which drive your every action. The serpent's bite is painful because it forces you to consume your own illusions, to digest the lies you tell yourself about who you are. The cosmic mirror. Let us pause, seeker, and stand before the serpent's gaze. Picture it now, a vast Ouroboros, its scales shimmering with the light of 1,000 galaxies, encircling the universe itself. Each scale is a story, a life, a civilization, yours, mine, all that ever was. As it devours its tail, it creates anew, an eternal cycle of sacrifice and renewal. But what does it ask of you? In Hermetic philosophy, the maxim, as above, so below, reveals the Ouroboros as a cosmic mirror. The universe is a serpent, and so are you. Every thought you suppress, every wound you ignore, is a bite you take from your own tail. Yet every moment of courage, every spark of love, is a shedding of old skin, a step toward rebirth. The Ouroboros is not just a symbol, it is a process, a way of being. To live is to cycle, to consume and create, to die and be reborn. In Sumerian myth, the god Enki crafted humanity from clay, but the clay was mixed with the blood of a slain god, a cycle of sacrifice embedded in our very being. In the Kabbalah, the Ouroboros is the Ein Sof, the infinite, contracting to create the world, then expanding to reclaim it. Across traditions, the serpent whispers the same truth. You are part of the cycle, but you are also its master. The forbidden knowledge is not that the cycle exists, but that you can choose how to dance within it. The call to awakening. As we near the end of our journey, let us return to the desert, where the stars burn brighter now, and the Ouroboros coils in the sand, its eyes like twin moons. It speaks to you, seeker, in a language older than words. Awaken, remember. The serpent's bite is not a punishment but an invitation. To face the cycle is to face yourself. To embrace the Ouroboros is to embrace the paradox of existence. You are finite, yet infinite. Broken, yet whole. The alchemists knew this. They etched the Ouroboros on their manuscripts not as a warning, but as a promise. The great work is not to escape the cycle, but to master it, to become the serpent, to wield the power of creation and destruction with wisdom. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna to act without attachment, to dance in the cycle without being bound by it. This is the secret the Ouroboros guards. Freedom lies not in breaking the circle, but in understanding it. So, seeker, what will you do? Will you flee from the serpent's gaze, or will you meet it? Will you let it consume your fears, your illusions, your smallness, so that you may emerge anew? The Ouroboros is not just a symbol, it is a call to remembrance, a reminder that you are both the tail and the mouth, the end and the beginning. Eternity is not a destination, it is the journey you are already on.